Hi everyone, this is Lalita, Solutions Engineer at Strobes Security. Today in this particular session, we are going to be covering how to run an agentic pen testing leveraging Strobes platform. Of course, there are different categories of testing that we can do, starting with your application, your network, your cloud, running kind of red teaming assessments, assume to breach activities, attack surface management. So these kind of things you can actually do leveraging Strobes automation and AI piece. Specifically in today's session, we are going to be targeting web application pen tests. So we definitely will be going into further details, how you can set one up, how you can run it, what kind of output you can expect, along with a live report walkthrough that will give you a better understanding what kind of output you can expect and how the overall process looks like from a pen testing perspective. Right on the screen, I have the homepage of the Strobes platform. Once you land on the platform, this is the view you're going to be having. From the left side panel, we have multiple options. So to initiate a pen test, we have to run it through the AI. So we have something called as Strobes AI on the left hand side. Once you click over here, you will be seeing workspaces. So workspaces primarily are nothing but pen test projects or AI activity projects that you can create for any kind of AI operation that you are performing. Under this new workspace category, you will be seeing different kind of templates available. So they are pick and choose options available for you, which are preset and have all the required information and template set. Whether you would like to conduct a web application test, a cloud pen test, a threat modeling assessment, you can just pick up a certain template and you can give your scope and it will be up and running for you in a few minutes. Now, since we are going to be focusing on web application for this particular session, I'm going to be clicking on this particular template where we have this piece available right now. If I go ahead, use this template. Now from this particular page, you will be seeing the entire methodology, what kind of phases it will be covering, what kind of output you can expect, what are the credentials that it would be needing, what are the standards, compliance elements, and of course the workflow phases that will be covered. Once you use this template, you will be this as a selected thing. You can go next from here and then you will be able to set it up entirely depending on the kind of application you are running a test on. You can give it any required testing. So if I am putting a simple application pen test, I'm giving it a name. Then I can add the target URL. You can add any URL that you are looking to get the pen test done for. Once that is added, of course, depending on if it is a gray box test, you can definitely add credentials from here. There is a separate process where you can go ahead and add new credential, and whatever you have added, you can pick and choose from here. Right now I've created or connected with GitHub, so I'm going to be choosing this particular credential from here. Once you have done that, you can even pass on any sort of custom instructions. If you wanted to be focusing on OWASP top 10 methodology, if you wanted to run only certain type of testing, if you wanted to skip certain elements, those kind of instructions you can pass in very simple native language, and it's going to be understanding that and will be focusing on that particular field. Going ahead to the next phase, over here you will be seeing the entire AI model thing, environment thing. Considering if you have an external application, Cloud Sandbox runs pretty well. But in case it is an internal application, you want this AI set to get access to your internal environment. Just how we do in like a manual setup, you can set up a jump server within your environment and you can connect it with the platform. And accordingly, you can give it access so it can go ahead, access your application and run the testing accordingly. Over here, you can even get a schedule set for the testing. If you want to do it on a one-time basis, on a monthly retest or a weekly scan, it will go ahead, prioritize and run it pretty automatically from there. We also have execution mode. So autonomous primarily does not disrupt in between. It will run all the phases and then it will produce the output for you. Whereas human in the loop is more aligned when you are dealing with a lot of sensitive information. So before running each phase, this AI is going to be popping up a human in the loop request where you have to approve that particular request and then only it's going to be proceeding to the next phase. We also have auto remediation in place that will release fixes on the GitHub for you to implement them right away. Once I've done all those things, I'm going to be going ahead reviewing it. So this is how it primarily looks, where you will see which template we picked, what are the phases that will be run, what is the target, what is the scope, how the credential looks like, what is the schedule we have selected, and then we can go ahead, create and launch it. It will take a few minutes where it will go ahead, create the workspace and initiate the test from there. Once that is done, you will be sitting back, relaxing, and it's going to be taking certain number of hours depending on the size and complexity of the application, and then it will be producing the results for your environment. You can, of course, go back, look at what kind of activities it is performing, the kind of agents it is calling, and then you will be able to see how the particular process looks like and how the results will be generated that you can, of course, go back and look at. So once the testing is done, we'll come back and look at the entire workspace, how it looks like, how you can visualize the results, how you can actually see what is happening behind the scenes, and how a typical workspace would look like basically. So this is the one that we created primarily, Flips on app pentest. Once I click on this particular one, this is the view of the workspace that will be visible for you. Over here, you will be seeing all the information, starting with the quick action button, where you will have certain commonly occurring actions that are available for you to run in a very simple manner, where you can click on run full assessment, you can view your tables, you can validate findings. Any sort of quick action buttons are available for you. Then we have files that will show you the clear folders and information that will be stored by AI while the testing was conducted, for you to be able to look at the entire information in a pretty detailed manner, and for you to assess also about the kind of operations that happened behind the scenes and the kind of information that was collected during the entire pen test engagement. Then we have the asset window that will show you the scope that was part of the picture. So under this particular workspace, we did the web application pen testing for this particular URL. Then we went to the findings section, where you will see the findings or the vulnerabilities that were generated by this entire pen test. We have got approximately 11 odd findings that are in the high, medium, and low category. You can even visualize the detailed finding from here, where you will have the detailed information like what is the description, what is the POC, what are the remediation steps. All of it primarily is generated with 100% validated findings. Then we have agent tasks. So this one right here will give you a clear visibility on the kind of phases that were run by this particular agent while it was conducting the testing. In the template that we selected, there were a lot of different phases or the entire methodology piece embedded. So whenever you choose a particular template, these tests or these scans or these tasks, as you say, will be auto running. You don't have to do anything manually. It will automatically be scheduled and they will be running one after the other until or unless you complete the entire assessment. In the end, of course, it's going to be going ahead and will be producing the desired results for you. You can open a certain task, like if you talk about generating a certain report where you will be having a certain command being passed, and once this has been run, you will be seeing the kind of activity that was performed and the kind of results that we basically got. So here we have the PDF report that was generated, and then we of course will be taking a look at that section as well. If I go ahead and download this particular report for you, I'm going to be opening this up. So this is how primarily the web application pen test report would look like. That will start with your summary page, where it will have the table of contents. It will have the entire summary of the kind of findings we got, along with your scope and methodology, the testing phases, the key matrices, and of course the finding summary in pretty much detail. Then it will go further in detail with your entire finding page, where it will talk about each and every vulnerability, along with the desired description, proof of concept, remediation, and of course how basically it will be impacting your entire system. So you can go ahead, take a look at this entire report, which will pretty automatically be generated within your environment setup once the testing is completed. Then we are going to be going ahead looking at other options, where we have the learnings, which will be available or created by agents while the testing was performed to get a better hold onto the application or the kind of operation the application is performing. A learning can also be created manually to give more context to the agent, whether it is a custom login method, an authentication detail, all of it can be passed through. So the agent can have a better idea and they will be performing the action in a much better capacity. Then we have schedules, so you can always go ahead, schedule your pen test, which you can either do straight away from the scheduling phase or when you are setting up a pen test, or you can do it within the workspace from here as well. We also have a most important element called human in the loop, as we spoke about it. So any activity that is critical in nature that the agent is going to be performing, it will always raise a approval request. Until unless you approve that request, it will not be proceeding further and the agent will hold on to that particular task. Then we have workspace settings that will give you pretty much understanding of what is going on with this particular workspace, what is the name you have added, what is the workspace type, any custom instruction you have passed on, any testing rules that are there, what is the default model that was used, what is the execution environment, and then what are the platform credentials that were passed on. You can even add any new credential, you can give it a certain context, you can delete workspace, perform any sort of actions that are available within this workspace capacity that will be helping you out in running a pretty much detailed pen test with the desired output. So this is how the testing again was conducted and performed, but we can absolutely go further in detail and we'll definitely be proceeding with other engagements as well going forward.